All right. Well, good morning, guys. Let's go ahead and get started here. I wanted to circle back around to a conversation that we had yesterday. I think Bruce brought up a really great point about, the different types of softwares that we're probably using across the network, right? So I'm sure there's many of us are using many different software platforms to help increase the efficiency of our business, to help us understand and troubleshoot devices better, and everything in between. And he had made the comment if we could submit, in the chat section or submit to techycompany.com, different types of softwares and platforms that you guys are using to help utilize your business. And I feel like it was very quickly brushed over. I feel like this is a major topic that we can all collaborate on. And I'm really looking for some participation today because I have my pen and I have my notes ready to hear what you guys are using and what you guys like, right? So I put it in the chat. What's your favorite software that you're using to help your business? And this can be on the repair side. This can be operations. This can be marketing. Any type of tool, right? We talk a lot about our hardware. We talk a lot about the break fix business, but there's a lot of software applications out there that really help streamline our business. Also have other tools to offer our customers, and then just help with the time efficiency of things, right? They help us get things done quicker. And that's so important for all of us, right? We're all looking for more time in our day to go out there and network, to go out there and grow our business. And a lot of these software platforms can help us do that. So I'm going to start. I have a couple that I know I like that I have heard of that I'm going to go ahead and provide to you guys. I think the very first one that we continue to talk about and continue to preach is Phone Check. That is a QC platform for phones and tablets that within about a minute and 35 seconds, you get about a 36-point diagnostic on any iOS or Samsung-based device, tablets too as well. And I know they're working diligently behind the scenes to move that into the laptop space here very soon, hopefully by the end of the year. But that is a fantastic tool that everybody should be using across the network to help QC devices, not only when you're buying devices back, but when you're fixing devices too as well. And if you're not using it, as I had mentioned, and you're still doing the manual process where your technicians are literally going through step by step and qualifying these phones, you are wasting time, right? It's about a minute and 30 seconds to run the entire diagnostics on Phone Check. Not only to say it takes a little bit of the human error out of it, right? So there's a lot of efficiencies there. So Phone Check is the number one. If you guys aren't using it, get in touch with us. We'd be happy to get you guys on that opportunity. Another one that kind of mirrors that, and I'll go ahead and put it in the chat here too as well, sickw.com. So sickw is also a way to check IMEIs and check if a phone is locked, if it's been blacklisted, all that kind of good stuff. Sickw.com is a fantastic tool to use. You don't have to download it. It's not a software per se. It's cloud-based. It's online. But it's a fantastic tool that I know a lot of our franchises have been using a long time to look at phones and qualify phones. Like I said, IMEIs, blacklist, amongst other opportunities there. So that's a really good opportunity for us as well. The other one that I'm going to put in the chat here too as well is RTO Mobile. Okay, guys, this is a in-house financing platform that allows you to offer terms and conditions when selling cell phones. So they deploy a software on the phone that essentially will lock that phone if somebody ever forgets to make a payment or does not make a payment on time. But it really helps you build in a lot of revenue and a lot of profitability on your device sales, specifically for phones and some of those top tier models when people want those 13s, right? Those 12 Pro Maxes and those 13s, but maybe can't afford the $700, $800, $900 price tag those have. You can offer in-house financing, and rather than giving that interest and that bigger profitability to a third party like SEMA or Progressive or American First or any of those other finance companies that we use, you can now keep that revenue in-house and really increase the profitability on each and every one of your sales, right? So that's a software platform that we can use. RTO Mobile is a fantastic one. So those are three right off the gate that I wanted to share with you. I do have a few more, but it looks like we're getting some people in here in the chat, and I want to make sure that I have time for everybody to come up and share. Just give us the number one software that you're using, and it could be for anything. It could be for data transfers. It could be cleaning, wiping devices. It could be, Nick, maybe you can share something with us that you use for your creative, or an app or a software that you use to deploy marketing assets across social media channels. Anything, any type of software that you guys love that you think the people can benefit from, let us know about it. I know I got Bob coming up. Hey, good morning, Bob.
Hey, morning, Kyle. So this has been a subject of mine that I think that we really haven't talked about, even you know in the techie days and even before in Experamax. It's really been kind of brushed aside, and so I think this is a good subject to kind of dive into. I mean, and I know there's the software for phones, but then there's the software for laptops, and then there's the software for both, right? And so um, I kind of look at it in two categories. I look at it like what's freely available that can help me immediately, and then what do I need to get to supplement the free, and how much does that cost, right? And I think one of the things that we should probably be tracking at the corporate that we can hand out and capture this into a document, just like we have the tier system. It's like so every franchise, even new franchise, go, oh, hey, what's the software list I should get? There you go. This is the free software. Here's what we recommend as paid software you should get. And so I'll kind of start. One of the things, when you get a device, it's hard to look at is the battery, right? I think the battery is a big deal, right? Especially, you're going to buy a phone, like, is it, what's the capacity, like it's charging at 100%, but what's the capacity of the phone? And it's hard to figure that out a lot of times. So when it comes to Apple phones, and we've been using coconut battery. It's a free tool, and basically you can put it on any machine. You plug your phone into it, boom! It tells you immediately when the battery was created, when how long's the battery been in the phone, what's the capacity of the phone. And I know Phone Check does that, but this is a quick and easy tool that we use. Boom! It tells you within seconds, like everything about a battery on a phone. So when I'm looking at a phone initially, before I even put it on a Phone Check, it's free. It gives me everything about a phone, and I highly recommend it. And not only that, but you can also put it on a laptop. It tells you the battery on a laptop. It basically will tell you anything. It's got a battery in Apple. Boom, it's done. And then there's a for PCs and for Androids, you can use Battery Care. It works Windows, and it'll tell you everything instead of an Apple. It tells you everything on a PC or Android. And those are two free tools that are essential for what we do moving forward. So that's free. And then yeah, of course, Phone Check. That's a good tool. Like using that. Just wish we had more insight into that still. Um, but we also do one of the things that we do, since there's not really a diagnostic tool that Phone Check has created yet, but I've been using it now for, I want to say, 3 years. But it's PC Doctor, and it's one of the coolest tools. But it cost me $500 a year to have access to this tool. And so it comes with a cadre of tools that you can do PCs, but you can also do Macs on it. And so basically, I plug it in like a thumb drive, and I can boot into this Linux. It's a Linux app, and it basically will do a quick 15-minute check of memory, hard drive, the whole shebang. It does a video check. Tells me, because when someone's trading in a laptop, I want to make sure that this thing is good, and I usually do a quick check because I want to make sure that the Retina screens are, there's no pixelation. I want to look, make sure there's no issues with the memory or anything, and within 15 minutes I can boom run this check, and I can determine, that this machine's good. Now, if I'm kind of like fishy, I can run an exhaustive test, which takes an hour and a half, which will like stress test the machine, which is what I normally do for every one of my machines, which is part of my, 29-point check before I put it on the floor. And we exhaustively check everything, and give it a good stress. But anyways, that tool works both PCs and Macs, but that's it's a little expensive tool, but it pays for itself in spades. Um, and then there was one other tool I want to mention. Oh, and so I do a lot of data recovery. Man, I tell you, it's easy money, and I use Disk Drill. And so Disk Drill, if as long as the drive is still spinning, and I pay $100 a year for this software, and I can mount anything. I don't care if it's unmountable. I can mount it, and then it does a scan. So depending, like if it's a terabyte drive, and it's got terabyte of data, it'll take me, I don't know, probably 24 hours to scan the drive to find everything. So it does three recursive checks. It checks if there's anything deleted. It'll check what's existing, and then it checks what it can recapture, and then it captures all that. So if that's a 1 terabyte drive, sometimes I can capture like 1.5 terabytes or maybe even 2 terabytes sometimes of data that's layers deep. So it does deep introspection, and then I can recover it. So I'm doing a data recovery right now of a guy's drive, and literally I push the button and I'm charging him $500 to do that. Now, if the drive, can't be captured, that's when then we need to use one of our partners. But anyways, these are just a couple things off the top of my head that I use. I probably use more, but I wish there was just a list, of like who else is using what, because I'm very curious to understand if there's something better out there, and is it free and how much does it cost, right?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Bob, for coming up and sharing and participating as always. And that's the point of this call today is let's leverage our network and let's leverage our technicians and people that have been doing this a long time. Like I said, chances are we're using 10 different platforms and 10 different softwares to do accomplish the same goal at the end of the day. And like you said, is there ones that are free? Are there ones that are paid? And which ones have the greatest value is something that we I think consecutively can all put together and create a really nice, like you said, list of opportunities. Another one that I wanted to share, I know David uses this one very frequently, is Malwarebytes. Malwarebytes is great. Works on iOS devices, antivirus, and malware removal, and things of that nature. So that's a very, very popular one that people deploy all the time. Also, I know TeamViewer is a popular one to help do software diagnostics remotely. That's kind of a free app that you can download pretty much anywhere. Those are two really good platforms to use. If you're trying to remote into somebody's computer, maybe they are in a rush or they can't get to you, they live very far away, there's always an opportunity to remote into their desktop. And I know TeamViewer is a pretty easy relative platform to do that. Although it would take them downloading that if their computer is completely unfunctional, that's not going to work. But also Malwarebytes. Malwarebytes is a big one that I know we've been using across the Experamax brand for a very long time on the antivirus and malware opportunity. So those are two good ones too. And I got the coconut battery there, Bob. I got PC Doctor and Disk Drill. So data recovery, PC diagnostics, and obviously the coconut batteries for the battery life cycle. And I put that stuff in the chat too. Does anybody else want to come up and raise their hand and share possibly their, like I said, their favorite software, their favorite platform that they're using? And it could be anything, guys. It could be, operations, it could be marketing, it could be troubleshooting diagnostic issues, it could be data transfers, it could be like I said, virus removal. It could be anything that you guys use on a consistent basis that you think the network would grow and benefit from. I know one tool that we use here, and maybe Tim can talk a little bit about it more. But we use Monday. I think Monday is a fantastic platform. It's a task manager's type platform, almost kind of a more basic project management type platform, but it allows people to really collaborate in workspaces and groups and set deadlines and just help keep things organized and help keep things structured on a day to day, things that need to get done. And we utilize it here pretty much every single day, right? So our ticket system goes into there. A lot of our calendars go in there, and pretty much almost everything that we do from an operations side goes into this Monday platform. And I think it's really helped us streamline a lot of our things, help get done things quicker, and then also just have one centralized platform for everybody to collaborate and communicate and have all the notes in there rather than doing it in an email chain or something else of that nature. Another one that I've used in the past, it's a little bit more project management focused, but it could be beneficial to you, is Jira, right? So Jira is a great app. It's there is a fee for it, but it is minimal. It's not too expensive per month. But Jira is another great app for workflow, for project management. If there's some B2B stuff that you're looking to get done or some bigger projects that you're working on with some B2B clients, some projects you're working on with your team, Jira is a great tool to work with and stay and get organized too as well. Um, Anybody? David, I got you coming up here, bud. Hang on one second. Morning, David. How we doing?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sorry, I'm kind of driving at the same time here, but we just started using Monday. It's a really good platform, um, but we also a couple of the tools we use is the I forget what the API is called, but it's the pricing guide inside the website. We use that all the time, now. We also use a coconut battery. Um, we use the phone check, and another. It's not really so if you're not using it's kind of software hardware based, but the if you're not doing the ClearPlex stuff, that's a real boon for us for sales for screen protectors. We do 2 or 3 of those a day sometimes. It's really good. It's an easy sell. It's an easy upsell. Better than any screen protector we've ever sold. So we do that one a lot. I was thinking of something else, but it's slipping my mind right now. Um, that
What are you
I'll
What are
think.
you using for data transfers, David? Are you using something more specific than?
We usually use just the Apple tools for data transfer as best we can. We use the migration assistant. My tech Frank, he has some tools he uses. We do a lot of the data recovery too. We haven't done that disk drill. I'm going to look into that, but we have another disk utility tool that can get us some of that revenue that we give to the data recovery folks that that we can realize that revenue, and we can maybe get about, I don't know, 1 out of 5 of those that we can recover ourselves. But um, we don't have any of that disc drill sounds pretty interesting, so we're going to check that one out. But there was another one. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank here. I'm trying to get to the vet here on time with my dog. But
Yeah, no,
I'll think of it just a second. I'll come back up.
yeah, and yeah, come back up, or do feel free to put it in the chat if you have time as well. But yeah, guys, this is what this call was about today: just sharing and leveraging each other's experiences and softwares that we're using. Like I said, corporately, we're going to do some more due diligence on this. We're going to put a list together and send that out to everybody. But I think it
What do you mean we're
starts.
gonna put a list together? You know we got a list already.
Yeah, I mean, we probably have a list already.
Where's that vendor relationship list at?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's but that's a different list, Tim. So vendor list versus a software list is two different things, in my opinion. So
Well,
just
I mixed them together for you guys. It's all in there. Everything that we just talked about is in the vendor relationship list. So if you guys didn't write down any notes for any particular reason, I shared the link in the text right there, and we can split it up a little bit more, but it's all in that vendor relationship list. I even added a couple more things that we have, and you guys are all welcome to add more stuff on there too as well. If you, as David forgot one thing, you can go on there personally, add what you have, and even if you have a contact of a person, and eventually we can split it up into 2 different sections and make it a little bit more neater, if you will.
The one I thought of is Mac Tracker. Mac Tracker is a free utility that tells you everything about every device Apple ever made, from the software runs, how much RAM it can take, how much RAM Apple says it can take, how much RAM it can actually take, what the latest OS it'll run, what the first OS it'll run. It's a free utility. It's an app for your phone and for your Mac, and you get it in the App Store. It's called Mac Tracker. It's a really useful utility.
It's free.
Yes, it is.
yeah, I concur with David on that. I use that at least once or twice a day for Apple devices.
now is that, guys? Is that similar to Every Mac, the website?
No, this is an app. You can install in an app, and basically, like, somebody brings a device in, and I can't keep track of every device. I'm like, oh, what is this? So all I got to do is flip a device over, look at the A code, pop it into Mac Tracker, and it'll tell me, oh, this is a 2012, this is a 2014, and this is what I can do with it. Somebody's like, hey, I want to upgrade. Can I upgrade this? Well, I can go to Mac Tracker, and it'll tell me everything I can do with Mac Tracker, what the specs were, what's the options, and literally right there I have at my fingertip every single Apple device known to man inside of Mac Tracker.
The Every Mac is more of a serial number database. You have to have a serial number to look up a device. Usually, that's what we use. We use that for. If we can't, like, if the computer's dead and we don't know exactly what it is, we'll do it. We'll do Every Mac to put the serial number in. If we get the serial number off the bottom of the case, and it tells us what that particular model could do. It doesn't tell you specifically, because it'll tell you what all the options were. But Mac Tracker is just a faster way of getting a lot of really good information on the history of Apple products.
Awesome. No, that sounds great. Thank you for sharing that. We'll definitely make sure we add that one to the list because I don't think it's on there, but that's a really good
It's on
recommendation.
there now.
It's on. on there. In fact, that's why, guys. That's why I said that's why we're doing this today. I mean, look, we've already uncovered, maybe 5 or 6, 7 vendors that you haven't used or you haven't heard of before in a 25-minute conversation. I mean, that's fantastic, right?
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Hey Kyle, there's one more, and I can't. I'll have to get it when I get to the store. But there's always a use case when somebody comes in and says, "Hey," especially on PCs. On Apples, it's a little easier, but on a PC, somebody always comes in and says, "Hey, I want to upgrade to a 1 terabyte." Well, PC doesn't have a really, like a migration assistant like Apple does, where I can easily just copy the profile and then send it over, and boom, I'm up in business. But one of my techs has this really cool tool, and I can't remember off the top of my head, that'll literally, I can pop a drive in, put it next to another drive, and then use the software in between, and it'll clone bit by bit the drive just as it is, and it's super fast, and it's the coolest thing because now I can take a customer's old 1 terabyte HHD, move them to a 1 terabyte SSD, clone it really fast, put it back in his drive, and I'm up in business, and I just charged him $300.
Is that
So,
carbon
but
copy cloner? Or
no, it's a copy, but it's a free tool that is better than any paid software. It's
yeah,
it's it's
carbon
it,
copy cloner is one we used to use on PCs a lot. I don't know if we still use that or not. But that was always a
yeah,
really good tool.
yeah. I'm thinking of names like Cumulo or Quantum something. I think it's a Q something. I don't remember off the top of my head, but anyways, just adding to the list.
What do you guys use for virus removal?
That's a good question.
We
I think
don't
malware.
we don't mess with that on PCs. That's a that's a rabbit
That's
hole
a
you
good
can dive down
question.
to
It's funny.
on
So
on the Mac where malware bites people. We love malware bites.
yeah. So we were doing some partnership and we talked to them a bunch. I put them on there. It's True Network Solutions. Um, Bob, I'd like you to look into them because I don't know much about that kind of the PC side of the world. And
Hey, you should create a new role, software quality control person. I'll take that job.
I know you'll probably hack into something too.
No, but if you want, I tell you what, send it to me. I will dig because one of
Yeah,
my
it's on the vendor relationship. It's called True Network Solutions, and I even
okay,
put the email to the gentleman. And we were trying to
okay,
do some stuff with him and get every store to have it because it has a lot of like I don't know. It's supposed to be like the best of the best, like where it's gonna guarantee they're not gonna get a virus on their PC 99.9% of the time. It's used via the government. It's like no other solution out there. I don't know. He was blowing my mind, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" But I talked to him about 6 months ago, and we were going to launch across the stores. But as you know, we get so many vendor relationships, and we want. I don't want to tell that vendor, "Hey, we're going to get this at every store," and then only adapt 20% of us adapt to it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So if you could look into it a little bit more, the email is on there. Nice guy. Him and Vanessa are super nice. Maybe you could see, hey, this is definitely something that Techy needs to launch across all the stores. Then we'll do it. But I would like to get like maybe your advice a little bit more.
yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, what's funny? Wasn't there like a club call like I want to say it was almost a year ago where it was this company that was based in Chantilly, right in my backyard,
Yeah.
that was doing. I forgot the name of the company, but
I
I
think it
think
was.
what
I think it was AppGuard, wasn't it?
it was something like that where it came from DoD Intel, where they built it in Intel for like antivirus
Yeah,
something.
it was
Yeah, I
Um,
think
AppGuard.
I think we did have them on True Network Solutions, but I can't remember. We've as we bring more and more vendors on, and we're trying to do the same thing. Like I'm trying to bring on ADP uh, coming up here shortly, but yeah, um, I think that's the same company if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I get a call from ADP every day trying to get my business. So,
Yeah, I'm
uh,
gonna have them come up because they're doing some things that are supposed to be changing, and maybe I can get you guys all better pricing, and we'll see. We'll
hey,
see what
any
happens.
any any pl- any place we can save $1, I'm open to it as long as
Yeah,
it's quality business, kind of
of
thing. So,
course, of course, of course. So we'll find out about that. But yeah, if you could look into the True Network Solutions for me, that would be great because I think it's definitely a great add-on
all
for
right,
virus
I'll check it
removal
out
and stuff.
today. I got some free time. I'll check it out today.
No, you the man.
No, but I think something like that would be cool because right now if somebody comes in with a virus, I instantly quarantine. If we find it's a virus, I quarantine them in the shop. They don't join my Wi-Fi, they don't anything, and then it's just a matter of, okay, how do we do it, right? So if it's on the Windows machine, you can start with recovery. You can pop that in, but there's a bunch of different techniques to do that. And so, and Kyle, here's my suggestion, maybe moving forward, because I think this is a topic that's untapped, right? So, what would be cool is we've mentioned a lot of these tools, but maybe, and I'm not sure if any of these do videos, but it would be cool to like just walk through a tool. So, okay, hey David, why don't you walk us through blah blah blah? Take 5 minutes. How you use this tool in your shop? And we do this for these tools, and we kind of vet these tools, and maybe you have, I know you have a marketing Monday and all these other, maybe you have a software, I don't know, Saturday or something, I don't know, just whatever. But I think the tools can make us a lot of money if you know how to use the tools right.
Yeah, what I just heard is a new module in Techy University, Nick, is what I just heard. So I think that's definitely something that we can build out and have a software type tool section in Techy U and show you the applications and points of contact to walk you through that tool. I think that's a huge success. That'd be huge. Cool, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming up and participating today. I hope this was helpful. I know I learned about, 4 or 5 different vendors that I'm going to research a little bit more and obviously share with other owners as I communicate to them. That's what this is about. That's what Techie Talks is about, is collaborating and growing together. And I think we did that today. So good success today, guys. I appreciate your time and everybody coming up and participating. We're going to continue. Bob, I agree. This is an ongoing discussion. We're always getting presented new opportunities. There's always new softwares and new features and new things coming out. So we got to stay progressive on this stuff because it helps us run our business more efficiently, increases our customer service, and some of this brings more profit to the bottom line. That's what it's about. So thank you everybody for participating today. We will see you guys on Wednesday for questions. Come up with any type of question that you guys have. We're here for you to answer them. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.